Wake up, goddammit!
Hey, gang. Am I on here? Let me just look. Yes. Big day today. Lots to talk about. A little bit to bitch about. It's just going to be me. For those of you just joining, welcome to DNR Studios. And everybody used to hearing Derek and Romaine later on this afternoon. They're on a cruise, and here I sit. How do I rank? Oh, it's because I'm the new guy. Let me turn a little bit better here. There we go. It's because I'm the new guy at DNR Studios and happy to be there. Glad to be, at least for now, at least so far, the only political show at DNR Studios. Hey, Steven. Shout out to Steven over on Instagram. There's those of you at DNR Studios that are just trying to figure out what the hell's happening right now. I'm a new show. We talk politics here. The show's called Up the Middle. And throughout the show today, I'm going to be reintroducing myself because it's radio or audio only or social audio. Hey, back, Steven. Or social audio, whatever. And I know people tune in and out. They come and go. They come back later, that kind of thing. That's why we do short commercials, so you don't have to do that. But brand new at DNR Studios. So I'm going to be introducing myself. I hate doing that. I hate talking about myself like I'm somebody special. I'm special, but not that's kind of special. Anyway, DNR Studios, DNR, and for those of you who are already here and have no idea who the hell DNR Studios is, DNR stands for Derek and Romaine. They were a pair on the LGBT channel at Sirius XM when I first met Derek. And I'm telling this story without him here, so fasten your seatbelts, because I'll be telling it again in 2 weeks. When I first met Derek on Grindr. That's right. Although all we did was watch a movie, to be clear and honest, and to protect Derek's dignity. He is not, neither of us are a notch in the other's belt, as it were. So more about all that later and throughout the show. Welcome to everybody at DNR Studios. 1-888-88 Yergs. I got to move that. Sorry, I'm doing some rearranging here on my desktop. 1-888-88 Yergs or 844-GAY LGBT. I think that's the number that's programmed into the DNR Studios app, which you can go to and get by going to DNR Derek November Romaine Studios.com, DNRstudios.com, and sign up for their subscription service. Obviously, you're getting me for free because you get that somewhere else. But for those of you that are paying for that service, it's a great service. Don't stop it. I'm a member of it. There are plenty of other shows that I'm now following for the past couple of months from having been in training of sorts to be part of the DNR Studios team. 1-888-88 Yergs, 844-GAY LGBT. Quick shout out to everybody at DNR Studios. I do not have the interactive capability yet that is on the app. So if you text there, I have no idea where that's going to go. So you can email me, and we'll put that up for today. You can email me as soon as I find it in my little handy dandy dashboard here. News, N-E-W-Z, at Yergs, YERGZ.com. We'll leave that up for a little while. For those on video, you can now get video, and I'll tell you why I was so bitchy about making this happen this weekend. You can now get the video of this show at Yergs.com. So if any other format, with the exception of Twitch, should happen to go down, or should happen to be removed, you can go to yergs.com and watch right from there, and there's not a goddamn thing that YouTube can do about it. Yes, there's a bit of a story that you will get later in the show. And there I am on my own website. Yay. There's chat there too, by the way. I have no idea how I can integrate that into everything else, but there's chat there too, and I'll keep an eye on it. Even if I got to verbally, like I do with CZ, another super fan over on Instagram, checking in. Wow, I can't pronounce his whole screen name. That's a good one. But shout out to Steven and CZ. Caesar. Super fans joining from Instagram. You can do that by going to @Yergz, YERGZZ. 2 Z's on that one, because a sexy son of a bitch named Michael Yerger got that handle. Got that handle before I did. You might remember him from a particular season of Survivor. All right, so welcome to DNR Studios. Another addition to Radio X. Our friends down under, who it's in the middle of the night for them. By the way, I got to do the times. I do that for those of you, again, just joining and just learning. We go through the times all over the world when we come live, and I do it throughout the course of the show as well, because those are the places where we've got an audience, which is why I'm really happy to bring on DNR Studios and Radio X and get them the exposure globally that we're also developing. So more about Radio X later. The Fourth Reich, also known as the Trump administration, I've learned this past weekend, is after me. Brian Tyler Cohen said it would happen. David Pakman said it would happen. I said it would happen. And it's happening. I was censored this past weekend by YouTube, I believe, because of the influence of the Trump administration. And we'll talk about that at length over the next 2 hours. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Tell a friend. We are developing a community here. And yes, this community is accepting. It is diverse. It is a safe place for everyone, including the hot guy outside. Who is that? Anyway, it is a safe place for everyone. I have an open window right by. I'm in my living room. My studio was totaled during Hurricane Helene last September. And for a while, we were broadcasting from my garage. Then it got too cold. And ever since, we've been in the living room. That's where we're at to this day. I'm working on getting some more money to make some more upgrades over the next couple of weeks or months. But anyway, we are building a community here, and it does welcome everyone, to include Trump supporters. That's right. We can't go talking about safe spaces and then not be a safe space. That doesn't make any sense. So while we do talk politics here, we've got to talk all politics and from all perspectives. That's what we do at Up the Middle. That's what this show is. I'm your host, Yergz, Ross Yerger, a retired special agent from the U.S. Secret Service, turned political podcaster, then radio host, now both. We look at things from both the left and the right and take you straight up the middle. Now, when I was creating that brand, I Googled Up the Middle and did an image search. And I'm not kidding you. The very, very, very first response. Steven says that, Elon Musk asked YouTube to delete it. I wouldn't doubt that. I seriously would not doubt that. I'll tell you why throughout the course of the show. But when I was creating the brand Up the Middle, when I decided that's the route I was going to take, because that's my personal politics anyway, and it's all about being genuine. The very, very first picture that came back was like a witch's or ghoul monster type of hand that was red in color with yellow claw-like fingernails going, giving the finger. I could not stop laughing because of how appropriate. Even the colors, really, although I would have rather the hand have been, instead of red, maybe blue. Because right now, for as much as I am both liberal, progressive, whatever, and conservative, right now we're kind of more flipping off the right for a bunch of reasons that you'll learn over the course of listening to the show. Again, 1-888-88 Yergs. I got to move some things around here on my desktop. I was playing with things over the weekend and realized that, I need to do better this way. And there's some things a little bit more in front of my face and some other things can be off to the side. I've got 4 monitors here in the Mastiff Media doghouse. And that's not enough. I need more space. So let's get to some comments. Some in the chat. We got Superfan Ken waiting for us patiently. Good morning, gang. And hello to you, Yergs. Yep. Superfan Ken, hello. Did you make it to Tampa Pride over the weekend? Let us know that and give us a report. Maybe you're going to need to call in if there's an actual good report to give. Yerg says, working that bandana today. Yep, for those of you on audio only, I did a little bit of hair and makeup before making my debut on DNR Studios, which, by the way, is one of the audio-only platforms. I don't know. That's what I did. You can now, however, check out video by going to yergz.com, YERGZ.com, and see what I look like. Because that's, the first time I saw Howard Stern was on David Letterman, and I was just like, ew. Then you kind of grow to love him and whatever. Ken also says, hello, DNR. And it's an N, DNR, for purposes of the web domain and their other branding. You'll see plenty of photos soon enough. They're going to be on the Mastiff Media, the Mastiff Media minivan, which should be getting wrapped within the next week or two. And the back side windows on each side will have the logo of all of the Up the Middle affiliates, to now include, of course, Radio X in Australia, WZQR in Pineland, and DNR Studios. Steven in Instagram says DNR means do not resuscitate. To those in the medical community, Stephen being one of them. Yes, it does. I know that as well. A DNR order is a legal document, kind of like a will, that if you're suffering from some sort of terminal illness and you do what we might call flatline, means you die. A DNR order means you do not resuscitate, means that you are ordered to let that person, what they say, expire or die. Yep, Ken's right. Wow, he's going from doing the reminders to like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff, to now he's helping me with the intro, which I'll admit is dragging on. YouTube removal story coming up today. Yes, that's correct. I was censored over the weekend. I keep sounding like I'm big and congressional. I keep saying in my head, censured, which is what happens when in an official body like Congress, you get a written, like a demerit of sorts. but I was censored, meaning that a totally normal and just like any other episode video of the show was taken from both the Up the Middle channel. I have 7 YouTube channels. 2 are for this show. One is the one dedicated just to Up the Middle. That's all that's on it. There's another channel called Talk TV 24. It's another channel on YouTube that we broadcast the show to every day. And that was the first one to get dinged. And then later I got striked again, warned and whatever, and it came down off the second one as well. But it's still up on Facebook, and I'm going to provide you that link in the show notes, which you can get, eventually we'll be able to get on your own by going to Yergs.com. However, now you can message me at that email that we had up a little while ago. I'll give you that plenty of time today. But I would like you to do, maybe I'll put it in the chat also for those that have access there, especially people who are on Facebook already. It is from a week ago today is the episode in question. And it's where it's, as you know, every Monday is a combined, it's 2 episodes, it's 2 podcasts, it's 2 shows, it's 2 hours of Up the Middle. But within those 2 hours is also a 45 minute to an hour, depending on how long we have on that particular day, of Both Sides Now that I co-host with Jane Stahl, one of my junior high English teachers. She's not in today, by the way. Her computer died, and her new one does not arrive until tomorrow. So, obviously, not too much we can do there. But she's also got, for her birthday is tomorrow as well. And so, a shout out to my lovely co-host, Jane, who all of you on DNR Studios will meet next week. Radio X already sends plenty of love to her every week, as does everybody else. But she's had to, in the past week, she's had to purchase a new wash machine, a new computer, and I don't know exactly what it was, but I think something happened at the studio as well. She is a manager of an art studio in our hometown called Studio B in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. That is the partial namesake for her own podcast called the Be Inspired Podcast, the B letter B Inspired Podcast, where she talks to all sorts of folks from our hometown and a little bit wider now. And just does an inspirational interview conversation. Ken says he didn't make it to Pride. Ended up helping a friend with something. That's a good friend. Also, I did see photos of someone in a giant panda bear suit get up. And people hugging said panda bear. Is that with regards to, I presume, Tampa Pride, which is where Superfan Ken and I both are? And he also sends happy birthday wishes to Jane. Awesome. Happy early birthday, Jane, from Superfan Ken, of course, from me and all of us here at Up the Middle. We're welcoming DNR Studios today. DNR from Derek and Romaine. They still are a show originally on Sirius XM back when Sirius XM had an LGBT channel. I guess Sirius XM were the pioneers in eliminating DEI, DNR. Oh, wow, this is going to be fun. I guess they were the pioneers in eliminating DEI programs. And they got rid of, almost 8 or 10 years ago, they got rid of their LGBT channel in their programming, and DNR was one of the shows that went with it. Another one is now on DNR Studios. I'll have to bring that up and see if we can bring the website here. think this is it. Let's see. I can log in. There we are. There we go. Okay, so this is, I'll put this on the screen. Obviously, for those of you that are already on the DNR Cast app, this is the website, which is similar enough to the app itself. See something here. Yeah, there we go. I'm just adjusting all kinds of things. So this is their website, and the show that was also, at least, maybe there's more than one. I don't know. But the show, these are all in alphabetical order, so I don't think I'm even on there yet. Oh, there it is. No, up the middle. Up the middle's there. But the show that was, I know was definitely on is the Focus Group, because my ex was actually a guest on it. Tim Bennett and John Nash were also at Sirius XM with Derek and Romaine. And they lost their jobs there too, obviously. Now they are a part of the DNR Studios family. And like I said, I'm happy to be a part of that as well. But if you go to dnrstudios.com, here's where you can subscribe. There's a list of shows that are there. Tom Goss, the country singer, has a show. Although I think they were talking about that a couple months ago. He actually is no longer making, I don't think he's any longer making new episodes. But I listened to Dennis Anyone. That was good. And Gayish. Dennis Anyone with Dennis Hensley. The Gayish podcast was good. Like that. Focus Group, like I said, I'm already familiar with. I never tried out Focus Group Unbuttoned. It's like a spinoff, I guess. But I'll be checking out everybody here. Of course, huge fan of Derek and Romaine. Called in last week. They were talking politics, and I was listening, as a new guy should be, familiarizing myself with everything. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to call in. That's tacky. You know, like I said, in 2 weeks, they're going to be interviewing me in a pre-recorded interview. And I just, no, I'm not going to call in. That's tacky. That like I'm looking for attention because I start next week. You know, no, it all happened. This is kind of just a soft launch anyway. And then they kept talking and they kept talking. I'm like, now it's to a point where if they find out that I was listening and I didn't call in, now they're going to get pissed because like, dude, this is your wheelhouse. Why didn't you call? So I did. We chatted up a little bit and they gave me a big promo for today's launch. So again, a shout out to everybody listening through dnrstudios.com or the DNR Cast app. There's a mobile app that's awesome. I got it on my phone. That's how I was listening, actually. So I muted that and came over here to the desk and called in through my computer. Because that's how they knew. I don't know if she knew it was me, but they said, we're going to take this call first because it's coming from a weird number. 888, you're on the air, or something like that. And I knew that was me because I called the one toll-free number, which you can use right now, 1-888-88-YERGS or 844-GAY-LGBT. There's both of them individually. 88 YERGS. I mean, that's easy. 5 8s and then spell out YERGS. And if you can just remember 844, then spell out gay LGBT. This ain't hard, gang. But anyway, that's the numbers. Give us a call and talk to us about your feelings on censorship right now and how it's happening within the Trump administration. As always, we also sport hashtags up there at the top of the screen, up in the left corner, or your right as you're looking at the screen. free speech, hashtag hashtag free speech, and hashtag fight fascism. Fascism. Fight fascism. Can you mispronounce it as bad as I do? I can't actually pronounce it right now. I keep screwing it up. That's actually funny. Fight fascism. That's not sounding right either. My God, I can't pronounce it. Last week's hashtag was hashtag you've got to be kidding me. I think we all know where that came from. That was Hillary's response to Signalgate, who, of course, was filled with members to include Pete Hegseth and Donnie Boy, who on multiple times chanted their campaign slogan, "Lock her up." That, of course, being over the so-called email scandal, which was nothing like this. I know, because one of the things I revealed last week on Friday's show with the guys on, we have like sub shows throughout the course of the week with Up the Middle. Today would be one of them. It's called Both Sides Now, co-hosted by Jane Stahl. Jane and I, this coming summer, it'll be 2 years that we reconnected when she appeared on a friend's podcast of sorts. You can learn more about her by going to Studio BBB, 3 B's. I didn't stutter that time. There were really 3 B's. StudioBBB.org. That is our hometown's art gallery that she is the curator and manager of. And you can contact her through the contact page on the website. You can also learn more about her through that. She is also she and her husband are our town's Citizens of the Year for their 20 or more years of work on the Bear Fever Project. In D.C., they have something, the Party Animals, I think it's called. And you can purchase and sponsor either a donkey for the Democratic Party or an elephant for the Republican Party and have it painted and decorated and put it out in front of your house or business as part of showing your support for the community based on a mascot within that community. I think it started in Chicago, and I don't remember the animal, but our hometown is the Boyertown Bears. And so Jane and some students started Bear Fever like 20 years ago, right before she retired from teaching. Her husband, who's a graphic artist and marketing company, now consultant, helped with the project, and they've been doing it ever since. And finally, after 20 or more years, they're being recognized by our community as the Citizens of the Year. So there's that. There's her wash machine taking a dump. Her computer taking a dump. And I forget what it was, but there was something in the studio that she had to handle. And so she's not with us today. But then it's her birthday tomorrow. So she should be taking the day off anyway. Don't forget, go to StudioBBB.org and wish her a happy birthday. You can also, we have a Facebook page that I have not been a good boy with. Go to Both Sides Now. And I guess if you search Both Sides Now and Yergs on Facebook, you'll probably come up. Or Jane Stahl, Stahl. Along with it, it'll come up. And there's a famous painting of Joni Mitchell the artist who sang the song Both Sides Now, that we use as our cover art, as the basis of our cover art. And we haven't been dinged for that yet. So, kind of the reason why I thought I wasn't going to be dinged for anything I've done, because who even listens? Small town compared to Brian Tyler Cohen or David Pakman. But apparently not. Either that or YouTube just really doesn't want to figure out that much of what we talk about here is sarcastic. But please check out the show notes. And you know what? I should put it in now so it's in the chat and you have it. It's available on my Facebook page, Ross Yerger. That's the link I'm going to give you. It's also available on Up the Middle Radio Show, is the other Facebook page where we broadcast to. I think today, because of having lost broadcast streaming capability on Up the Middle YouTube channel, we're also sending this to my channel or to my profile. So here comes in the chat the link. I would like you all to take the time and check out that link. Check out that episode. It went to Twitch, which means it should have gone to my... Yep, there we go. It should have gone to my website, which it did. It's at Twitch. It's at DLive, one of the places we're at. We're on Rumble. That's right. Where, by the way, this grossly misleading information was not struck down on the right existing. It's not right leaning. It's right. Far right, Rumble. We are still broadcasting to one of our YouTube channels. That's Talk TV 24. And to multiple Facebook pages, although it only shows that it went to 2. I don't know why that is. But here's where we're at. We're on Radio X in Perth, Australia. That's right. We're in Australia in the middle of the night right now. And we took their station ratings, or their listenership. And in, gosh, when did we join there? Early February? Mid-February, maybe? So in roughly 2 months, we grew their listenership overnight by 25%. And that could mean, the 4 people listening turned to 5. I think it's a little better than that. But hey, if all 5 of those people tell somebody about this show overnight, now we've got 5 people growing the show instead of 4. But it's more than that. I forget what Brian from the station told me. So welcome to DNR Studios. Call us at 1-888-88-YERGS or 844-GAY-LGBT. I told you during the intro, which I guess we're kind of sort of still doing. I didn't even take a break yet. That we have an addition to Radio X in Australia. Right now, it is, I got to do the times, and maybe that'll help you better understand. Right now, we use worldtimebuddy.com. I love this thing. This site's amazing. That's us there at the top of the list, Eastern Time, where it's 11:37 a.m., 8:37 a.m. in Las Vegas, where we're also on 1400 a.m. and 107.1 FM KSHP, K-Shop in Las Vegas. In London, we're on the UG.media, like we're mastiff.media. They are the U DNRG.media on channel XL. They've got 2 channels. We're on channel XL, but we're only there live on Fridays. Write them, please, and say, hey, carry us 24/7. Well, not 24/7, but 5 days a week. Make the room. This is important news that we share with our friends across the pond and down under. We have listeners in Berlin, and see what this site does? Look at this. We use AM, PM time here in the States predominantly. The military, law enforcement uses 24-hour. I think most hospitals and other emergency services use 24-hour. But by and large, we're AM, PM, and they know that, so that's what they put on this website for us, as is London. But Germany uses 24-hour. You would be talking right now. It is 5:38 p.m. in Germany, which is what they would call 17:38. This site translates it just like that. I'm making all kinds of movements on my desk and my camera's moving. So 17:38 in Berlin, 18:39. We just added a minute. 18:39 in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. 17:39 in Gaza. They do not leap ahead. 18:39 in Kyiv and Moscow, where we have listeners. We'll talk about that in a second, too. 11:39 p.m. in Perth, Australia, the home of radiox.com.au. And 2:39 a.m., Tuesday, April Fool's Day, in Melbourne and Sydney. In 5 days from now, Melbourne will be moving back an hour at 3 a.m. on April 6th. They're moving back. Interesting. Oh, I guess that kind of makes sense because they're going summer into fall. So they would be falling back. Yeah. Okay. So this is the site that I use to tell the time throughout the world. And what I learned over the weekend is that you can click on a time, like if I'm scheduling a meeting Eastern at 1 p.m., can click on it, and it isolates that down through the whole for everybody. And then all I do is click the respective link on iCal, Google Calendar, or to my clipboard, and it creates a meeting with all those times attached to it. How cool is that? So, yeah, that's the times right now. We're talking about adding to Radio X. Right now, like I said, it is, all right, well, let's get rid of that. It's 11:41 in Perth, Australia, the headquarters for Radio X. 2:41 in the morning in Melbourne and Sydney. I put it, they're both on the same, I figured if I put Melbourne, the one I'm not as familiar with, I'll remember to say Sydney, and I do. Just like up in Tel Aviv, I also remember to say Jerusalem. I have maxed out here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cities on this website, and that's the maximum I can do without actually logging in, which probably costs money, et cetera, et cetera. So these are the 10 cities that I use. These are 10 cities where we've got listeners right now as we speak. It's probably about 40 or 50,000. We lost some affiliates that I got rid of because they're just not towing their weight. Yeah. Ken says that World Time Buddy needs to give a sponsorship for advertising. I'm actually going to contact them and say, I don't think they do advertising on their site. Doesn't look like it. But they do have a mobile app. They do have widgets, the world clock widget and an event widget. Oh, maybe that's like a countdown. Oh, that would be so cool. That would be so cool. And other features that I'll look at. but I am reaching out. So with our local, national, and global reach, I would love for you all to consider having your company sponsor the show and purchase ad spots for a mere $1,000 a month. You can get global reach. Plenty, and believe me, you're going to make out like a bandit. I promise you, you will make out like a bandit, because not only will you hear my loud mouth talking about you forever, it's a 2-hour show where 45 minutes in, I'm still doing the intro, which, to be clear, usually does go much faster. But you will get more than what you've paid for. I do got to take a break. Don't forget to remember hashtag free speech. It doesn't matter what you're posting about today. Just post about that. Hashtag free speech. Hashtag fight fascism. I still can't do it. Didn't that sound weird? I didn't do it right. Fascism. There we go. You're listening to or watching Up the Middle on the Mastiff Media Network, where we're welcoming Radio X for an additional show. We'll talk about that when we get back, as well as our new friends at Welcome to DNR Studios. We'll be back after this. What are you doing later? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to the gym, but not just any gym. Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Walk right up to the door. There's a QR code on the door. You can sign up right there. You've got no excuse. But not only that, their equipment is amazing. It's kept up well. It's expanded. There's stretching area. There's CrossFit. There's hardcore training. A dedicated area for stretching, dunk tanks, sauna, everything you need to get that Hernando beach body or keep your Clearwater beach body. You can train with your shirt off, you can scream, you can yell, and you won't be intimidated either. Go to Momentum Fitness and Wellness on US 19 in Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates. Build the momentum at Momentum Fitness. Oh, I've been doing something else during the commercial. I forgot to start our music for the live spot. So we do one or two a couple times an hour. And then we do a live spot. And I'm learning that I got to bring it up in volume a little bit because it's just a static in the background on the recorded version. So it's kind of crappy. I'd like to play some nice chill music while I tell you about Build-A-Space. These guys are really saving my ass. At the end of last year, I'm going to bring them up right here so you can see it. At the end of last year, yergs.com went down. I lived by that website. But down it came because my prior web developer, who will remain nameless until we bring out the lawsuit, I was doing free ads similar to what I'm doing for Build-A-Space right now. Every day, multiple times a day. This is burned into the episode. So in 10 years from now, you're going to still see an ad for Build-A-Space. Of course, unless YouTube takes it down. Well, this is what they do. Websites, AI. There's a list of services. Look at all that. A Shopify web design, Wix, WordPress, custom build, advertising. I got to have them sell advertising here. Jesus. Other tools to grow your business. SEO, web. Just look at that. Let that help your business. Go to build.space. See, that UG Media does it. We do it. Build-A-Space. WZQR, one of our affiliates, does it. Instead of just .com, they incorporate one of the endings to a URL into their business name. Build a space. You can find them at build-a.space. No .com, no .org, no .nothing. .space. Build-a.space. Check that out today. And I'm telling you, I'm so much better. The site, yergs.com, is not where it's at, but I mean, they're busy. And they took me on like that. And to be clear, I also did not tell them to make it the priority that they'll make you. They have another product that they're launching, especially if you're in Florida. But all you need to do is business in Florida. It's called the Biz Growth Collective. We'll talk about that, if not today, definitely this week. It's like LinkedIn, better. Build a .space. I got to learn how to pan it down better instead of just cutting it off. But I pause it or I mute it so they can just unmute it when we come up for the next ad spot, live spot. Okay, so where are we at here? Let's finish an intro. I mean, my God, we got a show to do. Welcome to DNR Studios. Again, if you're just joining, my name is Ross Yerger, Yerger. Google it. You'll learn about me. Or you can send me hate mail. People do that too. You'll come to know me, please, as Yergs, Yerg, Z. I'll tell you that story. I was first known as Yerg by my football coach in 9th grade. That was the after-school team for school. My younger brother was on a little league team in the evening that he also coached. He called him Yerg. My dad was one of the coaches of one of the younger kids' teams. He called him Yerg. And so it's often said that Coach Breezy in Boyertown, Pennsylvania, proprietor of Breezy's Bakery, the first time I was ever to successfully eat a cinnamon baked good and not be disgusted. Cinnamon and pumpkin, two things I never liked. Loved both of his. He made these cinnamon buns and pumpkin donuts that are amazing. I wish, rest in peace, Breeze. Coach Breezy. The only thing he ever did right with the English language was he added an S to describe all of us, and we got the nickname Yergs. Fast forward into my life where I needed certain marketing things, I changed the S to a Z, and here we are. So that's me. I'm the host of today's show. It's Up the Middle. It's a political show. Now my puppy comes to me and says I've got to go out. I just played a commercial where I could have stepped away. I'll scratch her neck for a little while until she gets really agitated. Then I'll have to play music or something. This is Up the Middle. It's a political show. We talk about politics, not only American, but we will bring the EU into it, Australia. Ow, no biting. You want to come up? Is that it? You want to say hi? All right, get up here. Oh, puppy stretch. All right, for those of you on camera, this is Shady Lady, nicknamed by my son, or named by my son, after the Slim Shady. Who, although sitting on my lap, I can tell she is no longer slim, that's for sure. So Radio X was one of the stations I found. They're a rock station in Australia, a station I also listened to during the course of the day, by the way. Rock station in Australia. They needed overnight coverage. And so I'm like, dude, hey, right here. We are now up the middle, is now their first show in the overnight schedule. Sportcat will be following me in about an hour and 8 minutes. He does a news program on Yerg's Radio and Rainbow Radio called Sportcat's Daily Gazette. And he is a first responder that is medically retired. Give me the music one over on Instagram. Sorry I missed you, but shout out to you anyway. Sportcat is a retired first responder, was in an ambulance and fire crew for a good chunk of his life, originally from the D.C. area, now living in Atlanta, temporary living in Knoxville, where he's taking care of some family. And God love him, he's taking that equipment with him, and he's with us every day. He'll be following me in about an hour and 7 minutes with Sportcat's Daily Gazette. So I'm telling you about his first responder type stuff because he does actually incorporate that into his show. He's got websites that he uses. Good God. He'll talk about the wind and does weather and does it globally. He does it for our friends down under. There's another global map that he's got where he sees all the house fires and structure fires and brush fires that exist. And he talks about them. So many different things. And of course, basic daily news too. He's a little bit more right-leaning than I appear to be. He's a lot more Trump friendly than I'll ever be. But he's also what Fox News never was. And that's fair and balanced. He'll also be here for 2 hours, followed by a revamp of a show we did here at Yerg's Radio called Yerg's Radio News. Now rebranded to the Mastiff Media Magazine. And the email that we had with Radio X and I over the course of the weekend, they need 1 more hour of programming. And so it's first thing in the morning for those in the East Coast of Australia. Let us do some morning news for you. And I haven't heard back when they said they liked the idea. I said, okay, count on it. I will have it ready in the feed today. And that was too close to me going on the air. I've not checked my email yet. I don't know if they got that message. So hang tight, folks down under. It may be in today's broadcast, if not coming soon, Mastiff Media Magazine. And that is 1 more addition to the Radio X Australia lineup from your friends here in the States at Mastiff Media. So the Fourth Reich is after me. And I'm actually going to take another break and let the puppy go outside or something because she is heavy. God, I think we were at the vet this week. Both dogs. I've got a 90-pound Mastiff behind me too. They said she is 35 pounds. I don't think so. I don't think so, sweetie. She's got her head on my shoulder. She's sitting on my lap. She's looking up at me. I love you, Daddy. But you're a big girl. Lots of loving on the puppy. I guess she doesn't have to go out. All right. Well, I need a new coffee. We're going to do Pierre's Pot when we come back. Pierre is a tribute that I do to fellow broadcaster who has been at one of my home market stations. Let me do the math here. 44 years. Since 1981, Pierre Robert. Hey, Joel. Shout out to Joel Planos on Instagram. Thanks for joining us. Pierre Robert has been at 93.3 WMMR FM rock station in Philadelphia for 44 years. I hope that he stays there for the big 5-0. That would be so cool. The studio is renamed after him, and rightfully so. But he does a thing where he toasts a listener who's done something cool. All his listeners are called citizens, by the way. And he toasts this listener, not with alcohol, but with a cup of the morning sauce. Was it you? Kiss your nose. With a cup of the morning sauce, which of course is coffee. And I will have to refresh mine so I can do today's toast of the morning sauce in the direction of our honored listeners. Okay, you got to get down. Gosh, it's getting big. This is Up the Middle. You're getting us through the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back after this. What are you doing later? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to the gym, but not just any gym. Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Walk right up to the door. There's a QR code on the door. You can sign up right there. You've got no excuse. But not only that, their equipment is amazing. It's kept up well. It's expanded. There's stretching area. There's CrossFit. There's hardcore training. A dedicated area for stretching. Dunk tanks. Sauna. Everything you need to get that Hernando beach body or keep your Clearwater beach body. You can train with your shirt off. You can scream. You can yell. And you won't be intimidated either. Go to Momentum Fitness and Wellness on US 19 in Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates. Build the momentum at Momentum Fitness. Sea Ranch Civic Association. See what I did there? I put that ticker across the bottom that says we'll be back shortly. And all the different phone numbers and everything. And what happened? One of our other sponsors got plenty of exposure. You can too. Hit me up, news, NEWZ, at YERGZ. And purchase your time today. The Sea Ranch Civic Association is one such smart business. They are my local social organization. Great organization. For $40, you can have an annual membership. It's been raised recently. And the reason for that is it too suffered badly from Hurricane Helene. But it's rebuilt this month, April. I think they're bringing back their monthly breakfast. They've been doing for 2 times now. They just started doing a farmer's market. That's amazing. It's amazing farmer's market. Love it. Go to mysrca.com. Sign up today or call 727-619-4636. Anywhere along the nature coast of Florida or the northern part of the Tampa Bay. Good investment, good social group. Sea Ranch Civic Association. All right, so this is a political show. I think one of the things we might want to do is talk politics. So over the weekend, I was censored by YouTube. To be clear, although I do believe this is much more relevant to the goings on within the Trump administration, what I call the Fourth Reich. Last week's episode, and there's some things that I suspect is what they find, what the FCC would call objectionable. I don't know. I want you to, when you can, it's a 2-hour episode. It's an hour and 57 minutes. Like all of them are. And of course, there's nothing from YouTube saying what it was that I did that's so wrong. Just that I violated their community standards and they have to keep their community safe. Meanwhile, also on YouTube is the asshat that is J.D. Vance just embarrassing himself in Greenland. Or how about Elon Musk? I gotta go get the dog. How about Elon Musk pretty much being booed off the stage in, was it Michigan or Wisconsin? Wherever tomorrow there will be a special election for Supreme Court for whichever of those 2 states. Now, apparently, GOP lawmakers are angry that J.D. Vance tried to, we're going to pull it up here in a second. This from MSNBC. Tried to block an order from Trump. Maybe he's not that much of an asshat after all. Senior Republican lawmakers are reportedly upset with Vice President J.D. Vance for going against President Donald Trump. Well, am I the only one making popcorn? Vance avoided a lot of the scrutiny in the single chat scandal, despite the fact that he was indeed a participant in the conversation, which revealed detailed attack plans. And I talked about this on Friday. That was classified. Pete Hegseth flat out lied. I'm telling you, based on my 21 years of professional experience, which is more than the Secretary of Defense and the Attorney General combined. Neither of them have as much experience dealing with classified information as I do. Not to mention, both of them combined do not have as much experience as I do. But now it is coming out the top GOP leaders are angry with Vance, according to NBC News, as they reported on Sunday. In an article entitled J.D. Vance's Role in Signal Chat Angers Senior Republican Lawmakers, the outlet reported that, quote, some think Vance tried to block an order from Trump, while other lawmakers feel he is on the wrong side of a rift between MAGA and GOP internationalists. And this is what's so ironic, and this is why I'm doing a paper, which I'm tempted to read on YouTube as an FU to them. Proving to you, let me say that again, proving to you that my theories are correct. That people like Benny Johnson and Ben Shapiro and the former loudmouth Dan Bongino, who is now the deputy director of the FBI. You know what? We can probably add him to that list, and there's 3 people combined who do not have more experience in dealing with classified information than I do. And believe me, I'm not exactly James Bond. But I will be proving to you that Donald Trump, et al., legal verbiage there, are indeed, if nothing else, in my opinion, the Fourth Reich. And I'm not the only one saying it, but I'm the one that gets censored. Which is why I'm not only on YouTube. So go ahead, YouTube. Censor me. I will mother F you until the day I die. So I think I might have lost some affiliates today. Or some channels because it's already 10 after 12. One of the timers that I have, remember at the beginning of the show when I was rearranging a bunch of things so that I could see them? Well, I totally missed this bright orange clock that counted down the hour so that at the end of the hour I could do some plugs and tell you where a bunch of people are at. And if you're no longer on, because we're only in Las Vegas, they only do the first hour. They don't do 2 hours. Then it gets cut. Well, I usually say, hey, come over to this channel and finish the show there. Well, hopefully today they were smart enough to do it on their own. But Radio X in Perth, Australia, covers the entire continent and country of Australia, does have us for 2 hours. And hang tight because in about 48 minutes, you're going to hear from Sportcat and his Daily Gazette. Also on ZQR, we are there for 2 hours, but I couldn't get them in today. Like they were not showing up. And I'll try to do it again. Maybe if I refresh or something, I don't know. But you can try to do it yourself by going to wzqr.fm. Remember I said about, the different endings in web addresses? And we have .space, two of us with .media. Well, one of our affiliates here in Florida, down near Naples and Pineland, on Pine Island, is WZQR. And their URL is wzqr.fm. I'm wondering where the little dog is. I think she's back outside. So I'm going to go to this again. It was not letting me go to the player. There we go. Beautiful. All right. So we're on in ZQR in Pineland. Of course, DNR Studios. Welcome to everybody on dnrstudios.com, listening through the website or the DNR Cast app. Hello, hello, welcome. This is not a bad thing. We're here. We're queer. We're gay. We're lesbian. We're straight. Or whatever you want to be. Whatever, more preferably, whatever you are, be who you are, be yourself. This is a safe space. Even for Republican MAGAs, who I'm not too thrilled about, but we welcome them here, even if they want to learn. This is what the left is doing. This is what real Republicans are doing. I think that might be what they found, again, what the FCC would call objectionable. When I said that MAGA, and it's not, as a political scientist by education, I'm telling you, it's not. MAGA, the current Republican Party, is not the Republican Party. Don't argue with me. When you got people like Mitt Romney, who I've met, Liz Cheney, who I've met, and Adam Kinzinger going, you know what? Peace out. That's not the Republican Party. And let's go back to J.D. Vance when he was, I don't know, doing whatever it is he does. Before he was tempted to suck up to Trump. And he called Trump Hitler too. It's not like I'm the only one saying this. That's how obvious it is. Even J.D. Vance says it. Until he realizes Hitler is his meal ticket. And the only way his interracial relationship will be respected or pretend to be respected by anybody. If he takes a knee and kisses the ring. But because I have a set of balls and tell you the truth, my video gets taken down. Oh, she's back. She's snoring already. That's shady. So before we get into that, I did tell you we need to do a very important tribute today. A toast of the morning sauce in the direction of some honored listeners who are not listening. I know they're not listening right now. Why? Oh, you know what? I need to put their domain. I mean, why are they not listening? Well, because they're on a cruise. Well, now you know who today's recipients of Pierre's Pot is. Of course, if you see the logo on the screen, the graphic on the screen, it's a pot of coffee. I don't know what that flowery leafy thing, whatever, in the background is. I don't know what that is. But Pierre probably does. Because he's a 69 or 70-year-old hippie, still up there in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, still rocking after 44 years. I hope he makes it to the Big 5-0. That would be so cool. I mean, beat that. How are you going to beat that? Who is going to beat that? So Pierre's Pot today to Derek and Romaine for inviting me to be part of the DNR Studios family. A toast of the morning sauce with a rainbow mug, no less, is it? I got to fix this camera setting. That should be able to focus on that a lot better. But a toast of the morning sauce is in your direction. Thanks for having me. Here's to an amazing future together and partnership in broadcasting and to telling the truth through free speech and fighting fascism. I can't do it still. I can't believe I can't pronounce that. Oh my God, that's so fun. How many bits do you think are YouTube shorts that'll probably be taken down because I'm mocking people who can't speak, and I'm actually one of them. I make great coffee. You shouldn't be having coffee while you're using your voice because the caffeine dries out your voice and your vocal cords, but God damn, do I make great coffee. So Pierre's pot today is to Derek and Romaine and everybody who works behind the scenes at DNR Studios. Thanks for having me. Is to you. On with the program. So I wake up. I got to start having a bottle of water here too. I got to break down, sip off camera or something. I did a different coffee mug every day too. I have like literally in my kitchen, this one whole cabinet is the coffee station. There are 2 shelves of nothing but coffee mugs. And then the bottom shelf is our coffee grounds, a grinder, because I do often use beans. The presses, because I don't do that coffee machine crap. We're off the terrestrial stations. I don't do that coffee machine shit. I do real coffee from a press. And then the only other things in there are my psych meds and my dog's anti-seizure medications. And they also have like glucosamine type stuff. I'm on like PTSD treatment and some other things that are keeping me from being too vocal. I've never even remotely considered or had the issue of being suicidal at all, ever. There are 10 people in my life who have chosen that route. And, obviously I wish I was there to prevent all 10. There's one of the 10 that if I don't agree with it, I understand it. That's my uncle, who for a third of his life, he was a little under 75 years old and right over about 50 when he was diagnosed with cancer. And he fought and beat it like a champ for roughly a third of his life. And what the family, me being one of them, what we all suspect is that he had a heart-to-heart with his doctors under doctor-patient privileges. They spoke the truth, and it wasn't something they wanted to say, nor was it something he wanted to hear. And so he did what he felt he had to do, which is why, I may be for assisted suicides for terminally, and the life he was living was not a life, and that's the point. Clearly, he felt that he may have been a burden on the rest of his immediate family, and he did what he did. I have another friend, my aunt's brother. She's married into the family. She's still family, and so is he. He had a tough time in his life that was proved to be a little difficult. And again, that you can't ever say what it's like to be in that person's shoes because you ain't in them. And you ain't ever going to know once they're no longer with us. But my Aunt Lori's brother, Todd, is the second of the 10 who are friends or family. The remaining 8 are all from the law enforcement community. 7 of the 8 are from the Secret Service. Some I knew of, I've worked with. And when we got the news, and of course, the first thing you do is you look them up on the company locator, which we're actually not supposed to do, but everybody does it because you want to know. And you go, wow, I worked with that person at this site or that site or whatever. But then it hits you when you go, wow, I know that person. There was a guy in my squad. There was another guy who was a supervisor on the Clinton detail and was the first one to introduce me to President Clinton soon before, or not too much before I joined the Clinton detail. He said, Mr. President, this is Yergs. He's going to be coming to us in a couple of weeks. He got caught up in something unfortunate, is all I'm going to say, that I think could have been overcome. He didn't agree. And he was one. My friend Nick there were times in my career where I didn't exactly have the best situation. I think a lot of people knew that I was gay, that still am gay, but that I'm gay before it was really out, and they made life rough. That didn't bother Nick. And he would always say hello. And then another agent, I saw him the day he did it. I saw him in the lobby of our building at the Washington field office. We passed each other in the lobby. I was coming out. He was going in. And he was drunk. During the day. Bloodshot eyes, smell of alcohol, and drunk. And later that week is when we got the news that he took his life. Our lives are not easy in government service. But as stressful and difficult as those challenges are, they are surmountable. So if you ever think that's an option, I'm going to change them. Yeah, sure. Call DNR Studios. Call their number. But without question, call mine or email us. Or most importantly, and probably best, call the suicide hotline. Call 911. Call for a pizza. Anything is better than not calling at all and taking that step. This is another thing. I want to welcome everybody who might still be joining through DNRstudios.com. New addition to our list of the family today. I tend to get on sidetracks, and as such, we don't often get to everything. We will. It just might happen tomorrow. But if you're joining us through DNR Studios, or if you want to check out DNR Studios, go to DNRstudios.com. Check out their site. Consider subscribing. And for those of you that are already there and you're trying to figure out who the hell am I and what is this? This is Up the Middle. You're now part of the Mastiff Media Network. In about a half an hour, we'll be joined by Sportcat, who will be doing Sportcat's Daily Gazette. It's a news program here on Rainbow Radio, available at rainbowradio.gay. Yergs Radio, available at yergsradio.com. And for the past couple of weeks, also on Radio X in Australia, an awesome rock station, available at radiox.com.au. And then, of course, on Sportcat's own network of other social media and other stations and so on. He'll do the news for 2 hours, all kinds of news, weather, even sports. I know March Madness is going on right now. And then at 3 Eastern, 3 a.m. in Perth. I think it's going to be 6 a.m. in Sydney and Melbourne. I'll be back with a new rendition of what used to be Jurg's Radio News. And as you see in the email, we spell news around here with a Z. We're not going to be using news right now, though, because we're now calling it Mastiff Media Magazine. There's a Z in magazine. Mastiff Media Magazine, where it'll be me plus Associated Press, Reuters, National Public Radio, Sky News from Australia, BBC from London, bunch Daily Crypto News. I don't think we'll have that today, but a bunch of other news sources coming to you live and pre-recorded. It's a combo. You'll get it when you see it. That's 3 p.m. following Sportcat's Daily Gazette. Did I miss anything? Am I hitting on it all? I can go back to talking about censorship and what an asshat everybody in the Trump administration is. Let's go through some of the other plugs. Some other folks that join. And again, this is more for the benefit of those down under at Radio X that might be new to the program, or especially those at DNR Studios. At the end of every hour, and I missed it today, but at the end of every hour, I go through the plugs and I ask you to support this person or that person or this, that, or the other thing. One of the affiliates that's supposed to carry our show, and when I last checked, I can do it again right now, is America One Radio. They are a progressive station based out of Atlanta. They have us on. We're on the schedule, up the middle, 11 a.m. This is another station that only carries one of the 2 hours. They only carry the first hour, but they were every day, Monday through Friday. And at last efforts, I'll give it another shot right now. Well, it's too late because it's past 12 o'clock. For the past month, we've not been on, and nobody's been replying to my emails. I went on this website. Go to that website, please. Flood them with bitching complaints. Say, where is Jurg's? AmericaOneRadio.com is a progressive talk station that used to carry our first hour every day, and it just stopped. And there were right around that time, some of our other affiliates were having trouble with the feed. We reprogrammed everything and started again. So it was the same feed and it worked. I don't know why, but that's what happened. And so, let's bitch about that, please. Can we? And you know what? Also, we're supposed to be on the Build-A-Space site too, and that wasn't working. So I got to do that today. I'll meet with John from Build-A-Space. I think that's on my end. I know Build-A-Space is one of our sponsors. I really believe that's on my end. But you'll be able to get the show, the video feed at Build-A-Space at their product called Biz Growth Collective. It's the LinkedIn replacement, which, by the way, I was also kicked off of. I haven't been on LinkedIn in like 6 months because I told the truth about the Trump administration there too. And off you go. Off with your head. America One Radio. I'm off there too. For whatever reason. I think it's just because they're asleep. Hit up their website. Hit that contact tab. And let's wake them up. If you're in broadcasting, I would love to have you as part of our meetup group. Go to meetup.com/internet-terrestrial-radio-group. I need to make that a QR code. Hey, we were talking about Biz Growth Collective. There it is. Join today. If you're a business in Florida, you can join for free. But I definitely recommend at least a $25 a month membership, if not the $50. If you're outside the state of Florida, but you do business in Florida, even if, maybe you buy advertising from me, Hey, get on this website, Biz Growth Collective. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to bizgrowthcollective.com/join and get there today. You can get me on Cameo. Oh, well, there's another QR code. That's to get the price. If you're outside the state of Florida, you got to do at least the $25 membership. And that's if you're at least doing business in Florida, even though you're not headquartered in Florida. Tell them you're buying advertising from me and then buy advertising from me. It's a smart move. But the $50 membership, it's crossed out. That's actually still an option. It's a markup. Try out the $50 one. You're not going to regret it. I have the big fool because I'm an affiliate, and it's awesome. I just got to get my head out of my ass and learn how to put the show on there. So that's another way that you can get up the middle. Sea Ranch Civic Association we talked about. That's up there in the corner. That's the QR code for Sea Ranch Civic Association. You can get that by going to mysrca.com. Wednesdays, I'm going to be joined by this guy, Philip Blackett. His socials are at Philip Blackett, at Philip with one L and two T's. It doesn't let you have both up there. At Philip Blackett, Philip with one L, Blackett with two T's. His book, Life After 40, well, it's actually an ebook, and it's free, just like my MAGA thing is going to be. Scan that QR code. I've got it. I've been reading through it. I can't go page by page right now, but he is a well-researched guy. Smart dude. Nobody's perfect because he is a Trump supporter. But, at least he's a professional, intelligent Trump supporter that we're trying to talk some sense into. He's a Harvard grad, published author. That's not his first. He's made bank off of plenty of other books. He's a bright guy. So check out that QR code or go to, I got to read this off here. Give me a second. The URL is Life After 40, the number 40, book.com. lifeafter40book.com. That's his book, Life After 40. Check that out or scan the QR code and get it automatically. And let me know what you think. So if you listen to the show somewhere and you're not really sure if you can say exactly that you listen to the show from somewhere, you can write my hotel and say you need a vacation and tell us where you need that vacation from. Write us at Yergz, YERGZ, at shayergz.com. Become a pen pal with me or somebody here. And let us know where you're broadcasting from or hollering in from. Sea Ranch Civic Association we talked about. The Capitol Switchboard. Call them at 202-224-3121. Again, that's the Capitol Switchboard. Reach out to your senators, your congressman or woman, your representative in the House, and tell them, Doge gotta goes. Doge gotta goes. Gotta go. DNRstudios.com we talked about. We'll talk about them again. We welcome them and everybody joining us today and now every day at DNRstudios.com or the DNR Cast app. Go to DNRstudios.com and sign up. I'm actually going to test the app right now. I would be dangerous if I knew how it was. There we go. DNRstudios.com. Derek and Romaine, they're on a cruise, lucky bastards. Jane Stahl would normally be with me today. Go to studiobbb.org. She's my Monday co-host. Go to studiobbb.org and wish her a happy birthday. And congrats on the new washer and dryer. No, just a washer. Congrats on the new wash machine. And congrats on the new computer, which she's getting tomorrow. Okay, so now I'm not seeing soundboard feedback. Home. All shows. There we go. Am I in here? Am I in here? Am I in here? In here? In here? There we go. Hit the live button. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's still there too. It's there. Last week's episode is in the DNR Studios app. Go to the shows, scroll all the way over. That's me. I got a little bit shorter hair there, but get over it. Up the middle in the purple letter with the American flag in the background, and the as you're looking at it, there's a red mic on the right and a blue mic on the left. You figuring it out? Red, white, or red, blue. Republican, Democrat. Mix of the two is the purple lettering in the middle. And check out that episode from the 24th of March. The numbering system I use is 2 digits for the year, 2 for the month, 2 for the date. So it's going to be 250324. The title of the episode is Republican versus MAGA. Yes, that's an issue. And apparently YouTube. Oh, there's not even barely a delay. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, this is so cool. I'm saying it, delay. Oh, check that show out on the DNRcast app. Well done, guys. Jane is also the co-editor of the Boyertown Area Expression. It's our town digital newspaper. She and Leslie Misko, I almost said Leslie Stahl. No, that's Jane Stahl. Jane Stahl and Leslie Misko are the editors of the Boyertown Area Expression. That's our hometown newspaper. Go to boyertownareaexpression.town.news for more information there. Philip will be joining me on Wednesday. He is the Trump translator, as we call him here at Up the Middle. You can follow his socials by going to @PhilipBlackett. Philip with 1 L, Blackett with 2 T's. Follow his socials. Matt Deemer will be joining us on Friday. He's a Democrat from Ohio, and he is the host of Daily Crypto News, who you might be getting a little bit from in the next couple of hours. We'll see. You can reach out to Matt by going to matt@dailycryptonews.net or info@deemerforcongress.com, and definitely check out either of those websites, especially the Daily Crypto News, because you'll be hearing it here on Yerg's Radio. Blake Fisher also joins us on Fridays. He's a conservative, not a Trump supporter, and is the host of the host of The Homeless Conservative. You can reach out to him at blake@thehomelessconservative.com. You can get us all, as I've said earlier, by writing us at news, NEWZ, @yergs.com. You can also use that address for any news tips or topic suggestions that you would like us to talk about or look into or report on. Unless, of course, you don't want somebody to know you're reaching out to us, then use this one. That's Yergs @shayergs.com. Stay tuned for Sportcat. He's coming to you in about 18 minutes with Sportcat's Daily Gazette. You can get him at Para or Normal Guys on YouTube, unless they censor him too. Guys spelled with a Z, just like we use for everything around here. Sportcat's Daily Gazette coming up next, right here on Yerg's Radio. And there's a Rottweiler across the street. Yerg's Radio, some distractions. Yerg's Radio and Radio X in Australia. All right. So I was going to go through some like the local news here, but there's nothing really that sexy. I think with one exception, there's a body found at a Little Caesars. Don't eat their pizza for a little while. That's a motorcycle crash. That guy's already dead, so can't do much with him. You know how the Republicans were saying about they're worried about what is the word? Indoctrinating. You know how we would be taking their kids and teaching them to be drag queens and gay. And here's Christopher Allen Hayes, Pasco County realtor, youth lacrosse coach, and deacon in his church. I don't know, but that doesn't really sound to me a card-carrying member of the LGBT community. Doesn't sound to me like this guy's a drag queen. Well, it could be. He could be, because apparently he did have, indeed, a double life. 82 charges of bestiality, where apparently it was confirmed that his Labrador Retriever was actually in some of the videos with him. They did not say what, although I can tell you a Secret Service story in a second. True story, and it wasn't me. Although I did have a Rottweiler at one time. You hang out for that. That's going to get interesting. Was found to have child pornography and video of him. Not only did this guy do it, whatever it was that he did with his dog, but he videotaped it. Then kept the videotape. Because what could happen? But don't forget, we need to create legislation that protects us from those drag queens. I think that's indoctrination. Don't want to be indoctrinated by those drag queens. I'm going to take it down because it's blocking one of my fight fascism. I can't say it. I can't believe I can't pronounce fascism. There it is. One of our hashtags for today, fight fascism. I can't do it. Read the damn screen, people. Hashtag free speech. Hashtag fight fascism. Did I get it that time? I can't hear it. I don't know. I mean, I'm hearing it, but I'm not. I don't know. That's funny. Christopher Allen Hayes, I think, may have been released on bail. Pasco County real estate agent, lacrosse coach, has been arrested on 82 charges, including bestiality and possession of child pornography, following an investigation by the Pasco County Sheriff's Office. According to detectives, Christopher Hayes, 46, was taken into custody on March 7th after detectives executed a search warrant at his Spring Hill home. That's Spring Hill is actually in Hernando County. Or maybe it's right before the county line. I don't know. The investigation began earlier this year after the sheriff's office received a tip regarding Hayes' activity on the messaging app Kick Messenger. How do they receive a tip in a conversation like that from a person who's not part of the conversation? According to an arrest affidavit, detectives obtained a subpoena that reveals Hayes' IP address originating from a Spring Hill residence, despite initial geolocation data suggesting an IP address in Pasco County. Oh, so he's spoofing it. The subpoena also provided access to content shared by Hayes on the app. Investigators discovered hundreds of videos and photos, including disturbing content depicting sexual acts with animals, as well as images of lacrosse events and Hayes' daily life. They put that in because it proves that it's his photos. When those are intermingled, I'll tell you a story about how the Secret Service tried to jam me up during the Trump administration. But they do that to prove that this is his string of photos. Critically, at least 2 files were identified as child pornography, with one video showing a child engaging in sexual acts with a dog. But the drag queens. Don't forget the drag queens. Investigators discovered hundreds of videos and photos. Oh, sorry. We did that one. Detectives reporting finding 18 files showing sexual acts between humans and animals, including 74 instances involving sexual intercourse. How do you even do that? Not that I really want to know. I think well, in case YouTube's listening and can't figure out that I don't really care, I'll say that more plainly because clearly they can't figure it out. Some of the videos featured Hayes himself, including one depicting him with a black Labrador retriever, later confirmed by his wife to be the family dog. Investigators believe the videos were created between July 2022 and September 2024. Hayes, who is employed as a realtor in Pasco County and coached youth lacrosse, was also a deacon at his church, according to the sheriff's office. The real estate profile has since been removed. When detectives initially arrived at his Spring Hill home on March 7th, Hayes was not present. Upon his arrival, he denied all allegations, claiming he was unfamiliar with the Kik messaging app. He was subsequently arrested and taken into custody to the Lando Lakes Detention Center. The charges against Hayes included sexual contact with animals, possession of materials depicting the sexual performance of a child, and numerous counts of possession of an image or video depicting animal sexual activity. But the drag queens. Well done, Christopher. Your family thanks you, moron. And of course, this is not news at all. Also, along the Nature Coast in Pasco County. What is it with Pasco County? God. Spring Hill woman escapes a fiery Tesla crash. Let's see what this has to say.
That's fucking dope. That's fucking dope.
Oh, hey, easy. Chill out here.
Yeah, that bitch went up quick.
I looked at the Chevy dealer And I'm wondering if that's on 19. The Chevy dealer that's not far from my house or wherever. Sky. So I'm wondering, is this Sky News? I thought this would be UK, or rather Australia, but apparently it's more UK because there's Starmer. That looks very British to me. I don't know. Yeah, this looks like a British version. I'm trying to get some Australian news too. So if there's anything that you guys like as far as covering news in Australia that we can do during the course of the show, hit me up. Let me know. You know how to do it. Those are old helicopters. Unless they're not, maybe they're the new Super Pumas. They might not be that old. Well, I don't know. Really concerning rise in sexual violence amongst teens. Well, let's send them to Pasco County to play lacrosse, see what could happen. That's DNR. I thought I had BBC up here too. I don't. All right. Well, we're starting to wrap up, and I got to take one more break. I think I've pretty much done everything today. I watch these episodes after they happen. And so I'm still confused as to what YouTube is so pissed off about. I mean, there's nothing there. That's what I was thinking too, Ken. Ken says it looked like Castriato. I was looking at the fences. Because Castriato on 19, which is not far from where I live, has those wrought iron fences that you saw. And they have a facility across the street from their facility that is an old bank that's vacated that they use as a storage facility. I think that's got similar fencing around the whole property. But yeah, it's right on, actually, US 19. And yeah, that's what I thought it was too. They are not a Tesla dealer, to be clear. You driving by Castriata and doing anything stupid, even if it was a Tesla dealer, I would not want you doing anything stupid. But yeah, so this might be good. We'll throw this out real quick in the. Dave Ramsey is somebody who's really helped me with my own personal finances. And that is not the link. Is he down here somewhere? Yeah. Lindsey Graham, first of all, he's a closet case. Secondly, he's golfing with Trump 1 minute, then isn't a part of it the next. Come on, dude. It's not working. And I really want to see how Kash Patel could fact check CNN, because that's probably the other way around. Okay, lots to talk about tomorrow. I'll find the thing with Dave Ramsey, because I really, as far right as he is, conservatively, I do have a lot of respect for his financial advice and what he's done for me. So I found the link. We'll put that up here for now, and we'll make sure that it's on tomorrow. Loading. There we go. Dave Ramsey has blunt forward response. Come on, what is it? Tax deferred income, please. I don't know what. It could be both. What the hell does that mean? I guess you're going to have to tune in tomorrow because Sportcat's up next. I don't know. I'm trying to talk him into doing a thing where we do like a tag off of each other, meaning like he comes on here, disconnects, tells us what he's going to be talking about today, disconnects, and then he goes on about his way. We use different streaming platforms, but I do want to do something with him. It's just going to, I think, make for a better show and to tie them both together. But hang out next. Sportcat is up next with Sportcat's Daily Gazette. And in 2 hours, I'll be back with Mastiff Media Magazine. Hopefully that will be on Radio X in Australia. It will definitely be on Yerg's Radio and Rainbow Radio. Yeah, I'll do it today. I'll definitely do it to Rainbow Radio, and then I'll put the playlist together so that it happens moving forward. Thanks for getting off the porch and running with the big dogs. Welcome again to everybody joining through DNR Studios, DNRstudios.com, and the DNR Cast. See you again tomorrow. Thanks for getting off the porch, running with the big dogs, and going up the middle. This is the Mastiff Media Network.